Are you having difficulty reaching fully overhead or with your overhead stability? This can be due to poor serratus anterior strength. Hi Prehab fam, Dr. Arash Maksudi here, physical therapist from Team Prehab, and today we're diving into one of the most overlooked muscles in the body, the serratus anterior. Now there's a common misconception that you should always pull your shoulder blades back and down when lifting fully overhead. But did you know that 1/3 of your overhead motion should actually come from the shoulder blade? Meaning that if you keep your shoulder blades pinned back and down, you're only going to be able to lift your arm about 120 degrees of the full 180 degrees of motion that you should have. The serratus plays an important role in adding that extra 60 degrees of motion from the scapula, which is why it's so important to target this muscle. In this video, I'll guide you through my 4 favorite overhead exercises for the serratus anterior, designed to keep your shoulders strong and pain-free. These exercises will not only help alleviate shoulder symptoms you may be experiencing, but will enhance your performance overhead. Let's get started. Let's start with a wall slide with a foam roller. I like this one because there's not too much load. We're gonna begin by placing the forearm against that foam roller and then try to lift your arms as high as you can without letting your hands come together. The key here is to externally rotate your shoulder as you push out. This will make sure that you get that serratus muscle. Now, as you do this, you want to push your shoulder blades out and around you. You don't want to keep those shoulder blades pulled back. Let those shoulder blades come out versus keeping them back and down. You want to really enhance that motion. Now, if you don't feel the activation deep inside that scapular region, that serratus, you can add an extra resistance here by putting a resistance band around your back, which will further challenge that muscle. And you'll do the same exact thing where you have your forearms against that foam roller, and then you're reaching up. You're avoiding lumbar spine, low back extension, or shrugging of the shoulder blades. You're allowing the motion to come from that scapula, performing up and down. You're gonna shoot for 3 sets of 15 repetitions 3 times a week. And if for some reason just reaching overhead is troublesome for you, we have a more basic version of serratus anterior exercises in a lower range. Check that video out for more. The next one will be a scaption raise to about 120 degrees. You're gonna grab a light dumbbell in your hand and you're gonna move in this scaption plane. Now that's not all the way out to the side, it's about 30 degrees forward from that. And then in this position, you're gonna keep your thumbs up towards the ceiling and raise your arms slowly. This is 90 degrees, so you're gonna go a little past that to about 120 there, and then slowly return back to that starting position, nice and controlled. You wanna allow for that scapula to move as you raise your arm, and that happens by keeping your thoracic spine extended. You'll notice if you round your mid-back as you do this, your motion is gonna be significantly more limited. Your thoracic spine sets your scapula for a good position, the same way that your scapula sets your shoulder up for a good position to activate. So keep those shoulder blades pulled back initially, thoracic spine extended, and then as you raise up, allow those shoulder blades to come out. You should feel the shoulder muscles working in addition to that serratus anterior work right down into this area. Just start with a light weight, maybe 5 pounds. I have 5 pounds, maybe even 3 pounds to start out with, and make sure that you have that control, and then you can slowly work your way up. For this one, I'd recommend 3 sets of 10 repetitions 3 times a week. All right, next let's get into a dolphin pose. I love this because you put a little bit more load into that serratus. Now you're gonna begin by putting your forearms onto the floor, and if you can, lift your knees off of the floor with your hips up into the air. Now in this position, you're gonna push your body away from the floor, try to bring your chest down, look towards your toes, and then return back to this starting position here. You don't wanna just round your shoulders. You wanna actually push your head down towards the floor as well, like this, and then return back and forth. This way you get both protraction, but also upward rotation as you bring your arms up overhead. Now, if you feel like you're getting too much pec activation, what you wanna do is use something like a resistance band to spread your hands into more of this external rotation as you do this. So I'm spreading externally as I'm pushing away, and I'm gonna bias that serratus significantly more just by doing this versus allowing my hands to come in. Now, if this is altogether too challenging, what you can do is just drop your knees onto the floor to decrease the overall demand, and then perform the motion in the same manner, which will provide less overall load to the tissue. So try this out for 3 rounds of 10 repetitions, also 3 times a week. All right, next we got a reverse bear crawl in an overhead position. I love this exercise because it's dynamic. We're gonna start with a traditional bear crawl position, and then you're gonna push overhead as you reach one arm and the opposite leg back. And you're just gonna repeat back and forth. And as you do this, you wanna really push your body away from the floor as you reach back, and you're just gonna repeat for 15 repetitions for 3 rounds, also 3 times a day. Or you can find a desired distance that you wanna walk through. So if you have like 20 feet of space, you can go through that for a certain amount of rounds. Now, if that's too difficult for you, what you can do, or if you're space limited, what you can do is a yoga push-up with one arm, which will replicate that same position where you push your body away, tap the opposite knee, and then come back with the same idea in mind. As I put all my weight onto one side, I push my shoulder blade away from me, going to that full overhead position, tap that knee, and then return, going back and forth. This will really activate all the scapula stabilizers, especially the serratus, in that overhead position. That's it for today. Hopefully you now understand that pulling your shoulder blades back and down does not work for overhead movements. You must engage that serratus anterior to set your shoulder up for success. These 4 exercises are key in activating and strengthening that serratus, especially in those crucial overhead positions. By incorporating them into your routine, you not only alleviate your shoulder discomfort, but also boost shoulder performance in those overhead positions. Remember, consistency is key. Stick with these exercises. You'll notice a significant improvement in your shoulder mobility, stability, and overall strength. If you're looking for a more comprehensive approach to shoulder health, be sure to check out our Shoulder Prehab program in the Prehab app for exercises and education to prevent injuries before they start. Thanks for watching, and keep up the great work with your prehab journey. See you in the next video.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Thanks for watching the video and taking control of your health.
Make sure to smash that subscribe button and check out our other YouTube content.
And did you know that we have a website and an app that you can prehab your entire body? Be sure to check out the link in the description.